you also have a situation where you are losing detectives, young, capable detectives. You train them, they start working 2-3 years, then they leave the force into the private sector. And I'm looking at this because even if you look at the 5,500 that the president spoke about in the State of the Nation, it's not all of them are detectives. And to achieve 62%, you might need to triple the number of detectives that you have. Unless if there's a particular intervention that you have found in that regard. The second one, Chair, and I might come back the second time. I had asked the minister a question around the detective. It just so happened that I had asked the question around the detectives and them going to receive further training. You know, obviously the training itself might not be the requirement. I think it's called the Resolving of Crime Learning Program. We still have a lot of detectives that have not gone to that level. It's not a requirement for them to be detectives, but if you want to increase the output, surely the development must link to that. So if maybe you can talk to us around that, it will assist.
On the question of detective rates, Honorable Ghana is right that if we can start to see significant reduction in the murder rate, that is universally internationally accepted as a good indicator of police performance and of that you're succeeding in general with the fight against contact crime. The murder rate is an objective rate, as you indicated. Now, we know for a long time, and that's why your spirit also of the questions are so important. I think that it may well be the case that the great majority of cases are not properly investigated. We know that victims of crime don't receive regular reports in many cases from the police. We know that our forensic laboratories are not functioning at the level that they should be functioning. And I'm greatly worried about the backlogs. And my understanding is that those backlogs are increasing, not decreasing. So I would also hope that the committee can call the board soon. I'm going to be engaging the board and ask them those questions. Because you're quite right. If we don't improve the training of our detectives, and General Dimpane, General Zulu are here, they must hear the questions you're asking because they are the right questions. They're also my questions. I think we've got alignment in the budget and the APP. The question is how are we going to achieve these targets? And without rethinking, stepping up the training of detectives, without making sure that we improve the performance of the forensic laboratories, we're not going to achieve these targets. And when General Dimpane made her opening observation, she said the issue is going to be around efficiency and effectiveness of the functioning of SAPS. She gave exactly the right answer because we have to work within the existing resource envelope.
I don't want it to be long. I want General Sintumule to touch on and give comfort on the plan that we have in place to capacitate the detectives so that they are able to achieve this that we have presented on the APP, because it is achievable. We just need to be urgent in how we do things and to monitor and to account for ourselves. The issues of training in terms of prioritization, the resolving of crime learning, it is on our training plan. General Zulu will touch on that. This is a priority. We need to ensure that we have sufficient detectives that are sufficiently trained. So the resolving of crime as a learning priority is on our training plan, we can also touch on that.
I have been listening attentively, and also I must say I welcome the concerns raised by the honorable members in relation to detective services. But what I also want to underscore is that we all recognize that this environment of detectives has over a period of time faced severe constraints in relation to maybe I wouldn't want to use the word understaffing, but your low levels of detectives as opposed to what we have as our docket cases in the system. And most of those will be more than 2 years. So I think that also coupled with your attrition that we have spoken about, the issue of forensic backlog also not assisting us in achieving our detection rates. This has prompted SAPS to have an approach in how do we deal with this situation, ensuring that we turn the situation around. And Honorable Ghana, this also informed why we felt, though the targets are high, we deem them achievable. I think this for us is a commitment which is ambitious that says we need to push ourselves and have the resolve to be able to detect crime, particularly your contact crime and especially rape as well as murder. So in this regard, for the financial year 2026-2027, as well as this financial year, you can see in the APP that the capacitation of detectives has been prioritized, and this has been done through targeted human resource shifts. We've been given a number of posts, I'm going to talk to that, but also the issue of leveraging on technology, optimizing on processes, but also smarter deployment. And that talks to the 353 detectives that we have re-enlisted to focus particularly on murder as well as rape. In this regard, I want to say that in our plan, we then spoke about acceleration, placement, and re-enlistment. In the re-enlistment, in the capacitation, I think previous sitting, or actually I can't in this committee, we reported that we were given 4,669 additional posts for detectives. And I am glad to say, as I sit here today, of those, we've been able to successfully place 1,978 detectives, which is 63 over our target. And these come from our previous intake. And in the incoming intake, we have already identified 1,554 detectives, and those will be placed once they are done with their workplace exposure experience. And also we have been given, as I said, 353 posts for re-enlistment. These have only been prioritized for 4 provinces, KwaZulu-Natal, Eastern Cape, Western Cape, as well as Gauteng. And they have been employed particularly to deal with the issue of your murders as well as your rape, which are 2 years on and over on the system. We also were given 1,000 posts for lateral transfers. This is where we face challenges. Of those 1,000 posts, 505 members have been successfully placed. Our challenge here is that our members view this as a transfer mechanism. For example, if they want to move from province to another, they then use this. As a result, we have re-advertised the 495 posts out of 1,000, and we are also earmarking these specifically for members who will assist in dealing with your detective case backlog.